Morning, students. How are you? Hope you all are well. As you know, you all have promoted in the 7th class. So, now we are going to start our first chapter from history, that is where, when, and how. Okay? Here you can see one timeline is there, that is started from 600 to till 1700 C. Or complete this chapter is based on this timeline, and we will discuss and complete this chapter according to this timeline. Clear? Now now we are starting our chapter. Here, the ancient period of Indian history ended with the death of Harshas. The presence of powerful dynasties like Pals, Pratihars, Rashtrakuts, Chols, and Rajputs marked the beginning of the early medieval period. Here, one word is there, early medieval period. That I will tell you about that. And the dynasties of the Delhi Sultanate, regional kingdoms, and the Mughals belong to the kingdom of the late medieval period. The second word is there, late medieval period. Now I will tell you what is there in paragraph. Here I told you that whole chapter is based on this timeline. Here, that we all know that in 647 that Harsh was died. After the death of Harshas, there was a political instability was started in India. That we all know that Harshas have a huge empire. After the death of Harshas, many regional kings, they all are the local king of India. That Pals, Pratihars, Rajput, Chol, and Rajputs. They all are local king of India. They all wanted to make our empire just like Harshas. They all wanted to establish their huge empire just like Harshas. That's why again and again they fight with together, and they wanted to show their supreme power to other kings. That's why that time period, which is from 700 to 1200 CE, that was many political instability was present in India. Here you can see one word is there, CE. That is new word for you, CE. In your previous class, you had read about BC and AD. That you all know about. What is BC? BC means before Christ, and AD means Anno Domini. But here CE word is there, that was started after the death of Harsha. And what is the means of CE? CE means it is a notational system of the word most widely used calendar era. After the death of Harsha, from that time to till present time, which calendar is going on whole over his world, that is called CE, and the full form of CE is Common Era. The full form of CE is Common Era. Clear? So that time period is called early medieval period, from 700 CE to 1200 CE, because lots of dynasties and lots of rulers came and established their empire in India. Now, one thing is also there, that is their late medieval period. After the 1200 CE, when some inventors who was came out of uh, our country, when they known about the political instability of India, they thought that they can took advantage of this situation. That's why they attacked on India, and after some time they was settled in India. Why this time period is different from this time period? Why? That late medieval period is different from early medieval period. That is why, because this time period from 1200 CE to 1700 CE, that was the political stability in India. In this time period, mostly the Turk and the Mughals, they came in India, and they established their empire for a long time in India. Now I think you all have understood about early medieval period and late medieval period. In our next paragraph, we can know about we will know about how India's name came. Okay, India was known by many names in a different time period. In a different time period of India, in a that India have a different name by the different rulers. Bharatvarsh, Bharat, and Hindustan were the name of the country in the olden time. In ancient India, mostly India has known as the Bharatvarsh, Bharat, and Hindustan. India, the modern name, was from the historical river of Indus. That we all know Indus is very ancient and historical river of India. That's why India name came from the river Indus. The ancient Greek referred to the Indians as the Indoi. Indoi means the people of the Indus. That means we are the people of Indus. Indus, here Indus is a river which the India name came from the Indus river. Now our second point is the impact of geographical feature on Indian history. Look at the given map of the Indian subcontinents. What comes to the minds when you look at this map? There is no similarity in these maps as the science of cartography. Cartography, you all know that art of making map is called cartography, that you had read in your previous class, was different in these two periods. Map first is of the 1154 CE and map 2 is of 1720 CE. The second map was used by the European trader and sailor to reach India as is more detailed. That means here you can see two maps are there. The first map, it was made 1154. It was made 1154, and second map, it was made in 1720. What thing is coming in your mind? These both are very different to each other. If I will ask you about this map, can you find out any country or any particular state by the help of this map? You can say no ma'am, we can't. But if I will give you this map and ask you about any state or any country, so you can find it easily. That's why that map was different from this map. And in this map, the European sailor make easy way to reach in India by the different ways. Clear? Now, chronology and geographical locations are the two most important features in forming the history of a country. Here one word is there, chronology. What is the means of chronology? Chronology means the order in which a series of events happen. The different happens, we all know that in different time period different happens was there, different events was there. These all events are written in a series, that is called the chronology. The geographical location of the India play a significant role in the development of the history of India. That we all know, geographical condition play a vital role to made a history of a country. Okay, without knowing about geographical condition, we can't tell about the proper condition of historical time period. Great Himalayas in the north always act as a barrier against the foreign invaders, but the mountain passes like the Khyber and the Bolan allowed travelers and invaders to enter India through the northwest. The river in the northern plains helped in the settlement of the invader, and many cities and towns developed in this plain. The cities and towns located on the northern plain where the Ganga and Yamuna and other rivers flow become central of great significance of many empires. Here question rises there that how invader came in India. That we all know that our India is covered from three sides by the sea. that you can see in this map, and in northern part of India that is protected by Himalaya. In Himalaya there is a barrier against the foreign invader, but some small mountain range which is located in northwest part, they allowed these traveler and invader to enter in India. Invader and traders, they came from this part to India, and after that they settled in a northern plain part. Why they all are settled here? Because lots of water resources are there. Mostly all the rivers are flow in this plain area, and we all know for establishing a particular civilization, water necessity is the most very important. That's why these all civilizations and almost settlements we are we are getting in a northern plain area. Now we are talking about the south region. In the southern region, the Vindhyas and the Satpura acts as a barrier for the invaders. Hence, there were a few rulers in the south who developed their own unique culture. The territories of the Cholas and Pandyas has long coastline. Therefore, they developed strong navies and established their empires across the Indian Ocean. If we are talking about the southern region, that southern region was protected by Vindhya and Satpura range, and mostly their culture and their empire was some of different from other northern empire. Mostly Cholas and Pandyas ruled over there, and they in that time they had developed their strong army, which is and by this strong army they protect their coastline, and they all over captured the Hind Ocean. They captured the Indian Ocean also. Now you all understood that how geographical feature is related to history. Now we will talk about which development come during this medieval period. Here you all know that I told you before the chapter that after the death of Harshas, many invaders came in India. Many changes were also introduced by these invaders in various fields. These invaders, when they came in India, they came with different idea, and they had many changes in various fields like political, social, economical. Many fields are there, and these all invader mostly they came from Turk. The main invading tribes which came in India were the Turk, Afghan, Persian, and Mongols. These invaders, especially the Turk and the Mongols, had a strong impact on the Indian culture and tradition. They came with their language, their own tradition, and different ideas. So these impact they had a strong impact on the Indian culture and tradition. The Muslim invaders like Muhammad Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori were followed by the Turk who founded the Delhi Sultanate, and after a long period in Delhi Sultanate there was a political stability came there. Now we will talk about that which changes and developments came during this medieval period. The Mughal were the most powerful Turk-Mongol ruler who approved the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate and gave a kind of political stability or country for a long period of time. That you know that after the Delhi Sultanate, political stability came for a long time period. They had rule all over in India 200 years. Second thing is their changes were made in social and economical level. Extensions of agriculture were made by the gradual clearing of forest. They using first of all, so they changes many part of social and economical level. After that, they mostly clear the forest for agriculture land. Third thing is there, after the coming of these invaders, many jati and sub jatis are developed in India. The invaders brought with them new ideas like Persian wheel for irrigation and spinning wheel for weaving clothes. Here we can say that when invaders came in India, they came with new idea. They here they were use new techniques for different trade, like weaving, Persian wheel for irrigation and spinning wheel for weaving clothes, just like that. Next thing is there, the process of centralization and regionalizations were interdependent and had a great influence on one another. Here one word is there, centralization, and second word is there, regionalization. When they came in India, in that time India was divided in many small parts are there. First of all, they started the centralization of the country. After that, they merge all small part of the India, and they connect all these part with the center. Next thing is there, major development and impact changes took places in Hinduism, like the Bhakti and Sufi movements, which spread the message of devotions of God and love and harmony among all human beings. After when they came in India, after that in India, Bhakti and Sufi movement was started there, and they play a important role to make a Indian history. So today you will you will again repeat all these points which I told you, and try to understand. If any query is there, then I will solve your all queries. You can call me for your queries. Okay.